In this video, I'm going to share the number one strategy I used to significantly increase my closing rate as an insurance advisor. You see, it was 2014. Amy and I had just decided to make a really important decision. We were going to move from Wisconsin, where we had spent our entire life, and make a move out west to the mountains of Colorado. And at this point, my insurance career had been 13 years in the making. So this was a big move for me because I was about to head to a market where I was going to sell health insurance to people who had no clue who I was. Now, when I arrived in Colorado, I felt like I had a knowledge gap. You see, I had spent the last few years in Wisconsin working deep into self-funded health insurance. So when I came to Colorado, a market that wasn't as experienced in self-funding as it was in Wisconsin, I felt I had a big time advantage over my competition. So I was excited, right? I wanted to schedule as many meetings with as many organizations as I could and just talk about how much I knew about self-funding. You know how well that worked? Yeah, it didn't. Why? Because I would walk out of every one of those meetings excited because I got to share my knowledge, but not one of those meetings turned into a second conversation. And I quickly realized where my problem lied. I was talking to the wrong people. I was talking to unqualified prospects. The reason my closing rate was so horrible early on in my career here in Wisconsin or in Colorado was I was talking to the wrong prospects. You see, I was identifying them demographically by size, location, industry. The mistake I was making is I was not identifying my prospects psychographically. How do they think? What do they stand for? What do they believe in? So I decided to do something about it. I decided that I was going to create a presentation that I have since coined my Do You Believe What I Believe presentation. This presentation is what significantly increased my closing rate. So when I would go out and meet with a prospect for the first time, I would do all the introductions, I would do all the fact finding, but before that first meeting was over, I'd take about 5 minutes to let that prospect know what I believed about the health insurance industry, what I stood for in the health insurance industry. So I talked to them about why they're not able to control their health insurance costs, why the health insurance carriers are not aligned with their goals, why the healthcare system is not aligned with their goals, why their employees are using their medical ID cards like an unlimited credit card. And I wanted to give this presentation for one reason only. Did this prospect believe what I believed? Because when I would deliver this 5-minute presentations, one of two things would happen. Number one, the prospect would look at me with cross eyes wondering what the heck I had just said. And if that happened, I knew they were not a good fit. However, if that prospect was nodding their head in agreement, if that prospect was actually pissed off by what they were hearing, I knew I had a good one. Because that prospect and I were psychographically aligned. So that's my advice to you. If you would like to up your closing rate in 2023, I challenge you to stand for something this year. Have an opinion on what you sell and deliver and share that opinion and what you stand for with your prospects, because you're going to quickly discover those that agree with what you do and those that don't. And that is the fastest way to qualify or disqualify your prospects, and it's the best thing you could do for your sales.